Hey everybody, Matumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena. And another day, another deck here in the Decktember series, and I'm super excited to be playing this one. So real quick, if you're not familiar with Decktember, I have decided to just celebrate everybody who enjoys my channel, and I'm going to be playing viewer-submitted decks all month. So if you would like your deck to be featured in a Decktember deck, please join the Discord, head down to the Decktember channel, check out the pin post, and see the templating for how you could submit your deck to possibly be considered for a Decktember video. So yeah, I'm super excited to be doing this. It's a lot of fun. I've gotten some great feedback. Maybe I'll make this into a series after the month is over. Maybe we can do this once a week or so. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. So real quick though, before we hop into today's deck, as always, with the abridged version, if you guys could, please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the channel and the video. That's all I can ask for. And also check out those cool links down below and leave some comments. So let's talk about this deck that we are calling it Sneaky Vito, and we're not just calling it Sneaky Vito. The person who submitted this deck, HearSay, that is their name, they are calling it Sneaky Vito, and I believe that they refer to it as a like a combo type deck, and it really is. But it's a colorless shell. But the cool thing about this is we have a couple copies of Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, in this deck in order to kind of combo out our opponents. So how Vito works is whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. You can also give your creatures lifelink until end of turn. So, maybe we have Vito in play with Ulamog. We could attack, make him lose a bunch of life that way. But really, I feel like what we're trying to do with this is play Forsaken Monument, because Forsaken Monument does make all of our permanents tap for colorless, but it says whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life. So every time we cast a colorless spell, we're just going to be gaining life and gaining life and gaining life. And then as we're gaining life, we're just going to be killing them, really, really quickly, because this deck can spiral out of control. Again, this is a colorless shell. These colorless decks are super powerful. So let's talk about the decks here. So we have, it looks like, 3 copies of Guardian Idols and 3 copies of Mindstone. Mana ramp is super important, especially in decks like this. So we do have 3 copies there. And then we also do have 3 copies of Power Stone Shard. So we have 9 mana rocks in order to help ramp out our spells a little more quickly and more efficiently. So that's going to help us. We have a couple copies of Maze Mind Tome in this deck, it looks like. This is going to help smooth our draws. This is going to help draw cards later on if we start running out of gas. It looks like we are playing a little bit of control package for these aggro decks that we might be facing against. So Extinction Event is a great removal spell. It sees play in standard as well as historic. It's a 4-mana sorcery. You get to choose odd or even, and then you exile each creature with converted mana cost of the chosen value. So what's really cool about Extinction Event is that it exiles the creatures. It doesn't just kill them and put them in the graveyard, so crazy graveyard dying triggers could happen. So no, it just removes them from the game, and we just never have to worry about those again. We have 3 copies of Hedron Archive. Hedron Archive is great. Once we can potentially turn 2 Mindstone or Guardian Idol, we can turn 3 Hedron Archive, and then that next turn we're going to have access to 6 or even 7 mana. So this is going to allow us just to have those explosive starts that these colorless decks really want to have. We have 1 Karn Sign of Urza. This is going to be good. We have a ton of artifacts, so we could potentially -2 to create a colorless construct artifact that gets +1/+1 for each artifact we control. Or we could be revealing the top 2 cards of our library, making our opponent put one of those in our hand, and then the other one gets a counter, and then maybe the next turn, if they put away a super powerful card with that counter that's exiled, we can use the -1 ability on Karn to actually go get that card anyway. So yeah, Karn is a really good card. He's not really played a lot, but I just think he's always been super powerful. And this is the type of shell that we want to feature him in. We also have his twin brother, Karn the Great Creator. Another 4-mana planeswalker. We get to turn off our activated abilities of artifacts our opponents control. They can't be activated at all, so all of maybe their mana rocks can't be activated. Any of those crazy shenanigans that they're trying to do. We can turn non-artifact, non-creature artifacts. Sorry, I don't know why that was so difficult. Into creatures for the +1 ability, and then we can -2, which is going to be his main use, is to go through our sideboard for any artifact and put that into our hand. So we have a boatload of artifacts in our sideboard. We also have 3 copies of Mystic Forge. This is a great card. We get to look at the top card of our library at any time. We can cast artifacts and colorless spells from the top of our library. And we can also just pay a life and tap it to exile the top card. So if maybe we have a land sitting on top of our deck, we can use this, pay a life, get rid of that, and then maybe we see a colorless card that we want to cast and just win the game with, potentially. We've already covered Forsaken Monument, but again, it has so many abilities. Again, we get to tap for extra mana. We get to gain life. It gives our artifact creatures, or our colorless creatures, sorry, +2/+2. Golos, one of my favorite cards, especially of late. 5 mana, 3/5. When it comes into play, you get to go get any land out of your deck. Typically in a deck like this, you go get Cascading Cataracts, because this does add 5 mana of all the colors. And then you get to use this ability where it says exile the top 3 cards of your library, and then you can play them without paying their mana cost. So that's pretty powerful if you hit a bunch of bomb cards in it. And speaking of bomb cards, let's talk about what we have. We have 1 copy of Ugin the Ineffable. This is great in our deck. It's going to make our colorless spells cost 2 less. We can make 2/2s by essentially manifesting the top card of our library underneath it. And then whenever that 2/2 leaves the battlefield in any way, we get to put that card in our hand. Or we can just -3 and destroy a target permanent that's 1 or more colors. So Ugin is really great. He's really good with Mystic Forge, because we're going to be able to play cards like Mind Stone, Maze Mind Tome, Guardian Idol for free. Power Stone Shard only costs 1. So yeah, really powerful. He also makes his big brother Ugin the Spirit Dragon cost 2 less and only be 6 mana. So we have 3 copies of these in play as well. Everybody knows Ugin. Ugin is just the planeswalker to end all planeswalkers right now. This guy deals essentially with every planeswalker. You get to deal 3 damage by +2ing. You get to exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. And on top of that, if you get Ugin the Spirit Dragon to 10, you're going to be gaining 7 life, drawing 7 cards, and putting 7 permanent cards from your hand onto the battlefield. That is crazy good. And last but not least, we have Ulamog, the big baddie of Historic. The 10 mana, 10/10 indestructible. And whenever you cast him, you get to exile 2 cards. Even if they counterspell this, you get to exile 2 cards on casting this. So, and then not only that, once it starts attacking, every time it attacks, it gets to exile the top 20 cards of your opponent's library. So yeah, and we have a ton of artifacts. We have Memorial to Follies. This is a black land that's going to let us get back our creatures that die. We have lands that let us draw cards, that let us kill creatures and artifacts and enchantments, that let us get back artifacts, that let us search for artifacts, that let us remove attackers from combat, gain us life, scry, gain more life, play stuff as flash, and then we even have lands that turn into creatures to help our other planeswalkers live. So HearSay, thank you so much for submitting this deck. We are going to hop in. We're going to play a few games with your deck. Then after that, look and make some changes, again, because of Decktember. And then we're going to play some games with the updated version. So again, if you want to be considered for Decktember, please join the Discord. Head over to the Decktember channel and submit your deck list in the format in the pinned post. So let's hop into the gameplay, and we will see you guys soon. All right. I'm excited for this one. Some sneaky Vito. That's what the kids are calling this deck these days. So we're gonna give this a shot. This is an interesting hand. Don't know how I feel about Power Stone Shards in this deck, but again, this isn't my deck. We're gonna learn as we go. All right, we're gonna keep. Having a 2-drop is just so much better in this deck. And having 3 Power Stone Shards, I feel like might be a hindrance in our deck, especially without there being a fourth one in the sideboard. So we're gonna scry. Don't really need a beacon right now. What are we playing against? Is this Teamer or just Simic? Oh, this is a Clover deck, really? Alright. Clover is a pretty busted deck. They are out-ramping us. That's never good. We're gonna have access to a Petty Theft. Oh, right on time, Guardian Idol. Oh. You're here for all the hits. Alright, so they probably have a Petty Theft or a Stomp. I'm guessing a Petty Theft. They'll probably bounce to the Shard. But if they bounce the Shard, they have to actually bounce it with a copy of it. And then that kind of fizzles out their original spell, and then... Oh, I mean, they're already Fae Wishing. Yeah, this is a bad sign. This is a bad sign. Negate and Disdainful Stroke. Alright, so we're gonna have to bait those out, huh? Alright, let's get one of them. Okay. And we gotta make him cast them. Alright, and then they get to play an Edgewall Innkeeper. That's if they tap out. I doubt they tap out. They probably keep Negate up, right? Probably keep Negate up. Well... Alright, let's get this Negate out of their hand. You might actually just bounce two things, right? Okay. Alright, that's what we thought. So what do we see this turn? Probably another Escape to the Wild, Edgewall Innkeeper, and then whatever else they get. So this is going to be first. Oh, okay. Or not. We don't know what we're talking about. So much land. This card might be one of the most broken cards that they've printed in quite some time, and I still do think one of these is a Brazen Borrower. I think we have to kill these.
Until you have ended the death, my grief fuels my mission.
Yeah. I think we're just gonna have to get a Meteor Golem here. Not what we're wanting. They have 13 mana available. God, that's so much mana. They can bring back Uro. If they bring back Uro, they still have access to 5 mana. They have access to so many cards in their hand. It's pretty crazy. All right, well, Fave Wishes, bounce Fave Wishes. They actually, I was right. They pitched 2 Brazen Borrowers. That's pretty crazy. I wonder what they get here. Essence Scatter. Okay. I mean, we're not really relying on this Meteor Golem. We just get it. We just got it as an answer because we got rid of our Extinction event. So if we draw a land... Okay. We did not draw a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3. Oh. Wait, this deals 4 damage? Absolutely, you're going to use this.
I am not frightened by you.
I guess the best thing we could probably get is a Mystic Forge. But we're just going to slam down Ugin.
Unutilized knowledge is rotting. Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
All right, so we have to worry again now about what they're going to go get out of their sideboard with this Fae of Wishes. I'm imagining they're probably going to get something along the lines of Sorcerer's Spyglass, right? This game's actually turning out to be quite a game. I figured once they turned 3 Beanstalk Giant and actually went and got 2 lands, the game was over. But so I think we might be killing this Beanstalk Giant -7, right? It's gonna hover over this for no reason. We do know that they... Oh, they're just gonna quit. I'll take a free win. I'm gonna take a free win here. Absolutely gonna take a free win after that. I don't know why you conceded there, Felipe. We were, you had our Meteor Golem in check. But, alright, a win's a win. It's game 2. Well, game 2. We've got instant pairing. We got a Hydrate, so we got to be ready by the time we get to the table. So, this is a Lurrus deck, and we don't have any 2-drops. I don't hate the Blast Zone, and I don't hate the Beacon. But this is going to be interesting to see which version of Lurrus this is. Okay, so this is... Oh. 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 I'll take that. So, Extinction Event here is really good. This gets rid of so many of their threats. Bang bang! Oh, get out of here. Oh, you did not expect an Extinction Event there, did you? Oh, man. Oh, wow. Us drawing that Mind Stone on turn 2 was really sick. Wow, and they played right into that, so... yeah. No complaints. Let's go to game 3. So we might get into game... We might get into our thoughts and our changes before we actually can see this deck in action. And then we're going to butcher the deck, probably in some form or fashion, and then not be able to do anything with it. So, let's see. Do we keep this? I think we do. What is Emergent Zone? Let's play the Beacon first. That way they probably know we're on Colorless, but at least they can at least think we're on Grixis. Or some kind of weird Super Friends deck. Alright, so they're on mono white. Is this a... I seriously wonder if this is the prison deck. The Solemnity 9 Lives combo. If this is Solemnity 9 Lives, we might be in for a treat here. Alright. Let's get to getting. I wonder if this gets removed. Our opponent's not doing anything. Well... Wait, what can we do here? Oh. We could sacrifice Emergent Zone. This Archon is kind of interesting. Because we don't want them to play a bunch of enchantments this turn. But, I mean, of course we're not going to get our wish. Because that Archon is going to get out of hand with the creatures. Ugin can take it down, but then its friends can just take it out. So I think that still has to be the play. Yep. So I wonder if the play here at this point is actually to kill the Banishing Light and hope that we hit. What is our move here? All right, so we could Ugin, kill the Banishing Light. We get back Hedron Archive. We have 2 mana. We can cast one of these. So yeah, we're gonna start there. All right, what do we get? So if we went to our sideboard, we could get, I mean, nothing crazy. We could get a Paradox Engine. Two, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we're definitely going to lose all of our Planeswalkers and take 2 damage. I mean, it's our own. This is the only Ugin in our deck, the only baby Ugin. It's weird. It's weird thinking that a 6 mana Ugin is a baby, but. He's a tiny little boy compared to his big brothers. Yeah, that is pretty detrimental. God, do they have another removal spell for their artifact or for our mana? I think they might, and that does suck if they do. Oh, I actually don't care about Solemnity at all. So we actually get to get down Paradox Engine and Mystic Forge this turn. So all right, let's hope. All right. Gotta hope above hope. Oh my gosh, really? We made a whiff. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. It's actually probably better that we just draw the land. So we don't have another Paradox Engine. We can't go crazy shenanigans. So we're gonna take 9. We need a Nugan, right? So if we Golos, it doesn't do anything. Mystic Forge doesn't do anything. This gives us 2 mana back. Guess we're dead here. Do we have any outs? So we could Golos for the Labyrinth land. But we're 1 mana short from being able to use it. We could go for a Radiant Fountain. That would put us at 10. But then we take 12. Oh, I know the play. I know the play. Because you have Solemnity in play. Oh, we're gonna get you good. Oh, it comes into play tapped. Dang it. Oh, we almost had him. Right, we almost had you. Well, it was almost a good play if you really think about it. We probably missed some kind of crazy play that we could have made. But yeah, I guess we could have potentially, with Extinction Events, we could have potentially yeah, with the Extinction Event in our deck, we probably should have tried to draw it with the Hedron Archive or something along those lines. So, all right. Just put us out of our misery, my friend. Good game. Good game. So, yeah, Blast Zone doesn't get counters with Solemnity, so we were actually hoping to put Blast Zone in play and kill all of his tokens since they cost 0. And that would have been a great play. However, Golo says, put that land onto the battlefield tapped. So it was almost an epic play. But let's go talk about this deck some. All right, well, we are here to talk about this Sneaky Vito deck a little bit before we make some changes. Eyeing some of the cards at first, I feel like some of the cards, the numbers just don't make sense, at least in my head. Looking over at the actual deck, obviously, we have 3 copies of Ugin, of Big Ugin. I don't like the fact that for whatever reason, Wizards can't get their programming together and we can't put a 3 here because of whatever weird layering issue they're having in their program. But anyway, I digress. Let's actually talk about this deck. So what do we think needs to change in here? So I do want to start off. I think that the Power Stone shards in this deck really are not where we want to be. I did kind of mention that going into the first game because I was actually thinking about that right after we talked about the deck in the intro. I was like, you know what? Power Stone shard might make sense if we were playing the 4th one in the sideboard, but then at that point you really don't want to play the 4th one in the sideboard because you really never want to waste a Karn activation to go get a mana rock. That really just doesn't seem typically like something you're wanting to do. So what I really think needs to happen is I think we just need to clean up the mana a little bit. There's a lot of one-ofs in here, and I think a lot of these lands are actually fine. But some of the lands I don't feel like don't really belong in the deck, at least in my opinion. While I do like the idea of Memorial to Folly, I don't think we want to, have this just to bring back something like a Vito or maybe an Ulamog if it goes to the graveyard, like off of a mill trigger or something like that. The problem that I have with this land specifically is the fact that it comes into play tapped. I do have some ideas of some other lands that we can play to fix this. We'll get to that whenever we actually build the deck. But again, I like the idea behind the reanimation ability from this, but I just don't think it's really serving the purpose because if it comes into play tap, like let's just say our hand is double Memorial to Folly and those are only 2 land and we have 2 mana rocks. We have the mana we need, but we can't play on curve because we're going to be playing a turn behind because we're going to play land tapped into land tapped. So, and again, I know the likelihood of that happening is going to be relatively low, but with, again, with the number of lands in our deck, it's very possible, things like that do happen, and we want to minimize that as much as we can. So back to the Power Stone shard issue. I think Power Stone shards need to just not be in this deck. So this is going to free us up 3 slots, 2 of them which are going to be Mind Stone and Guardian Idol, because again, with a colorless deck, it is super, super important since we have access to 8 2-drop mana rocks. That is it is so important to have that. So we're going to focus on that. We're going to make sure we have this, so we're still going to have an extra slot there. I do think that with Vito being in this deck, and that's the point of this deck, I feel like we might even want to bump Vito up 1 additional copy. I'm going to think about that. I may not do that in my final build because I may not want to potentially draw that. Overall, this deck is still a colorless shell, and we still want all of the crazy synergies that we get with everything. So again, it may not be something that we do, but I am going to think about it. What else do we need in this deck? I think we do need to reevaluate some of the cards in the sideboard. Some of the cards in the sideboard I feel like are just here, maybe just as filler. And I do that sometimes too when I'm building decks that have sideboards. I'll put in the main cards that I need, cards that affect graveyards, and you've done that too. Tormod's Crypt, Grafdigger's Cage, stuff like that. But HearSay, I just want you to know that I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna try to find better, at least a few better cards. Like I don't think the Skyclave relics need to be in this deck. Again, I know that these do make black mana to fuel the Vito, but I just don't feel like we want to be sideboard tutoring for a mana rock. I do think we need at least 1 Paradox Engine in the main deck. It does hurt whenever we go get it out of our sideboard, as you can see in that previous game. And then it is dealt with. We're not able to actually do what we're trying to do. And it was unfortunate that we did actually just stall out whenever we tried to do our combo. And while I like Extinction Event, I might drop the number of Extinction Events, maybe even to 0, not too sure. But I do want to keep this deck true to being a Vito deck in itself. So we're going to play around with some numbers. Ugin actually is one of the most beneficial cards in this deck, especially when you're trying to combo out with Mystic Forge and Forsaken Monument. Ugin is just going to fuel so many things. But then again, if you have Paradox Engine and you have a bunch of mana rocks, it's really not going to matter. But overall, though, Ugin is just really good because it also gives you an extra trigger once a turn in order to tuck a card, if it's a land or something. But overall, Ugin is a great card in the colorless build. So, yeah, I'm going to go play around with some cards. And I'm going to keep this as true to being a sneaky Vito deck as we possibly can. And I will be back here in just a few seconds. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about this deck and the changes that we've made to it. This is the remix of Sneaky Vito, hot and fresh out the kitchen. So let's roll with that body and let's see what we can be doing here. So we upped the count of our mana rocks. We got 4 Guardian Idols, 4 Mind Stones, and 4 Hedron Archives. And if you happen to notice up in the top left, right underneath the name, we're playing 61 cards. Because there's a card in here I wanted to try, because I really feel like it's gonna be just a little bit of a risk for a really, really high reward play. But let's talk about everything else before we get to that. You may see the card, you may not, but we kept the number of Vitos at 2. I did decide that Vito being at 2 is probably the right number. It's not really something we want to see early game. And if we do see it early game, it's not something that we want to see in multiples of early game. So if we were to up it to 3, it would increase the likelihood that we would see more of those early on, and that would not be good. So that's why we left it at 2. We did drop the number of extinction events down to 2 as well. We don't really want to focus on the removal in this deck. I feel like if we're having to do a lot of removal, it's going to be really detrimental to our plan. So yeah, it did save us in that one game that we played against the Azorius enchantment deck, but that might just be the one game that happens in. All right, so what else did we do? We got rid of the other Karn. We are only going to be playing Karn the Great Creator. I feel like we obviously want to be going into our sideboard, so in that sense, we did change our sideboard. The only card you can't see is still Platinum Angel. So we came in here. We added another Forsaken Monument, I believe. Maybe we didn't. We definitely added a Paradox Engine. We added a God Pharaoh statue. We added 1 extra Meteor Golem. We took out 1 copy of Grafdigger's Cage. We took out the mana rocks that we didn't need. So I feel like at least the sideboard's a little bit more fine-tuned. It's probably not perfect. There's probably some other cards that we forgot about. So we did go up 1 more Ugin the Ineffable. Again, like I had mentioned, Ugin is very important in this deck because of the mana reduction ability. That's really the most important card really the most important part on his card. So the number of big Ugins is still the same. Ulamogs are still the same. We did add a Paradox Engine into the deck. I did feel like we are actually trying to get here eventually, so we might as well have 1 here and a couple in the sideboard just in case. And then the one card that I mentioned that we're going to want to try is Thran Temporal Gateway. I know this looks really weird, but we can pretty much put any card into play from our deck, except Extinction Event. So literally every card in our deck besides Extinction Event and land will come into play. And even then, potentially we could Thran Temporal's Gateway an Inventor's Fair, because Inventor's Fair is it is a historic card because it is legendary. So yeah, so I feel like this does have a possibility to just get really good. This could potentially allow us to drop an Ulamog or an Ugin really, really quickly. So, if we go turn 2 Mind Stone, turn 3 Temporal Gateway, and they just can't deal with that, then we might be going turn 4 Ulamog at the end of their turn, or turn 4 Ugin, activate it, wipe the board, game over. So we really never know. And then lastly, let's really talk about the mana base. I'm going to put the sideboard away for a second. So what we did, we took out the swamps, because again, we don't need swamps. We took out the Black Memorial lands as well. This is a colorless deck. We have Forsaken Monuments in this deck, so we really have to focus on the fact on the ability that says whenever you tap a permanent for colorless, add an additional colorless to your mana pool. So we got rid of the swamps. We upped the count of the Spire of Industries up to 4 because again, this still taps for colorless without hurting us regardless. And really in the long run, we're only going to need 1 black mana, so this is really not going to do anything to us. And we also added If Near Dead lands. So If Near Dead lands, again, it's almost the same thing. It's going to tap for colorless, and then it's going to pay 1 life to add black. So it's really, I really feel like these are the lands that are going to be beneficial to us. We don't need that many black mana sources. We have 7 in regards to just those 2 lands. We do have Cascading Cataracts if we really need to get frisky and do that, or we can just throw it into play with Thran's Temporal Gateway. So I feel like these are plenty of lands to put 1 copy of Vito into play or cast 1 copy of Extinction Event. We also went up to 4 copies of Zhalfirin Void because again, scrying in this deck is super important, and Radiant Fountain we up to 4 because gaining life in this deck can be very important if we're playing against goblins or other form of aggro decks. So this is our version of this deck, and we're going to take it out for a test drive and see how we do. So let's play some games, and we will see you at the wrap up. Oh, Vito. Let's do it. Let's sneak you into play, but not with the Thran's Temporal Gateway. Let's just get you into play and start casting spells, gaining life with our Forsaken Monument. Let's do what we're doing. Afflicted, okay. So this is probably a red deck. Oh, maybe colorless. Oh, we need a land. That's a land. Oh, we're gonna do it. No, we're gonna do this. At least we're gonna try, right? What is this deck? When this dies, okay. Don't have the improvised counterspell. I think it's just waiting for them to decide whether or not to put a counter on the blast zone or not. So we don't have anything crazy to put in play with Thran's Temporal Gateway. But Golos might just be good. Golos could get a Cataract. And then that's it. Oh, you're afraid. You're afraid of the Thran's Temporal Gateway, were you? Oh, that feels good. So I would like to point out that our 61st card has already paid off and gotten us a win. So to all you people who were probably hating that card, we've already got one on you. So all right, let's go to the next game. All right, we've already seen the payoff. We've gotten the Thran Temporal Gateway win already. So, oh man, this would be the hand. I think we go for it, right? If this happens 2 games in a row, we get to scry for a potential mana rock. All right, deck, we got a 50% chance of drawing a mana rock here. Not really. That's not really how math works, but we're either going to do it or not going to do it. Oh, that'd have been so sick. That would have been so sick. I was about to say, if we can live. Oh, we were 1 turn away. God, we were one card away from being able to do this on turn 3. Yep. So I wonder if we actually... Do we Golos here instead? Is Golos more valuable? I think it might be. We still need 2 land. I mean, this still essentially costs us 8 mana. Oh, no. That's a lot. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh man. We were one turn away. That if that Mind Stone was 1 card higher up, we would have been able to do it. And we would have won this game. So I don't think there's any way out here. We're gonna think though, we're gonna think. Yeah, we don't have anything. We're gonna get in. Good game. Good game, Goblins. It was not a good game. All the damage. Oh, Fox's Tail, 386. Oh, man. We were so close. Oh, we were so close. You can't mulligan away a hand where you could potentially Thran Gateway them, right? But I think this deck is definitely all about the... let's play this. They're going to think we're on a black deck. Alright, well, we definitely need a land. Alright, you go get your forest or swamp. Oh, plains? What are you playing over there? Ooh, what are you playing? Are you playing shrines? Or are you playing shrines? Well, our hand is not doing too good right now. Alright, so let's take a look here. Yeah, I think we are going to keep Golos on top. Golos will go get us a Cataract, and then maybe we start Golosing. This is definitely a Shrines deck, right? That's fine. I wonder if this is a Panharmonicon deck. Need a land. Yeah, I wonder if this is a 4-color Panharmonicon deck. Hostage Taker. Hostage Taker. Boo earns. Yep. So I have a feeling we're going to get a concession here. And we get another Golos trigger. I like it. We're going to get Inventor's Fair. That seems really good. They have to deal with Golos and Ugin this turn. I guess they don't have to deal with Ugin this turn. They definitely have to deal with... Okay. What are you going to bounce? What are you going to bounce? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to take a... Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you didn't want to... Let's see what we get. Oh, this deck is sweet. I mean, we're definitely going to cast this. And we are going to -6. And then do we... Yeah. I mean, I think... Let's get back all of the lands that potentially just help us keep going. Aww. Aww. Oh, that's gonna get countered. That resolved? Let me get to untap everything. Oh, we get to... What's more important here, to Forsaken Monument or to Vito? Probably... that might be wrong. So it doesn't do anything yet, but we have a bunch of mana. We're going to go ahead and bolt. And we are going to draw a card. Let's draw a card. Yeah, drawing a card and dealing 4 damage is pretty good. We are doing it, my friends. We are doing it. We are secret vetoing. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad we went after the Forsaken Monument, not the other. Oh, good game. Good game, my friend. Good game. Final boss. Who's it going to be? What's it going to be? When's it going to be? And what is going to be the outcome? Oh my gosh. You have missed a key opportunity for your avatar. Your name is Fibblethip. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's do it. All right, let's make them think we're on some kind of weird black deck that got a weird draw. Gates. Playing against Gates. They're playing a turn behind right now. I just want to make sure I don't mess up, right? What's our payoff going to be? Oh, we don't get a payoff. We don't get a payoff here. So we're actually gonna get rid of this. Right? Oh man, we need to get rid of these rams. We're gonna take a bunch of damage. So I decided to keep it. Oh, this is going to be a lot of damage. This is going to be a lot of damage. So if we were to go get something out of our sideboard, what would it be? Sorry, I'm just thinking about. 1, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana available. Would not be enough. Because we could get a Meteor Golem, but that just doesn't do anything. That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. That's pretty good. And we get to play stuff off the top. All right, we have a chance to do great things. Oh.
I did all I did.
They definitely have the Storm's Wrath. Unfortunate. All right, let's put this to the bottom. Yeah, we're gonna draw that. Seems pretty good. Let's actually put this into play for free. Not for free, but for less mana. So
I am ancient and wise. Heed my advice.
let's. Oh, you say? Oh, that was stupid. Are you kidding me right now? Oh, that was so stupid of us. Oh my god, we 100% deserve that, right? Oh my gosh, I can't believe how dumb we are. Alright, well, that's on us. That's on us. Thank you. I can't believe we did that. Like, in my head, I was like, okay, we're going to Paradox Engine, we're going to get crazy things going. Actually, I think we just keep the Ugin on top. Oh my god, you guys are going to beat us up for that decision. Again, in my head, I was like, okay, Paradox Engine, let's cast this, it's going to untap. Yeah, completely our fault. Oh, what have we done? It's completely misclicked that. Completely misclicked. It's cost 2. Oh my god, we've done it again. Done it again. Where's the rest of our mana? Oh my gosh. Oh, this...
Fabric of the multiverse obeys me.
Pretty good. Just gain some life.
Always consider do not ignore my draconic talents.
Oh yeah. Fibblethip. I'm sorry. We didn't even get to Vito that game yet. But oh my gosh, guys. I can't believe we messed up. If we didn't tap like that, or I'm sorry, if we didn't cast our Guardian Idol for free before we cast our Paradox Engine. Oh, so that's completely on us, and I'm 100% sorry. But yeah, regardless, we still won. We still got it. Let's end to the wrap up, and let's talk about the deck. All right, everybody, welcome back to the wrap up, and we had a lot of fun with this deck. What can I say? This is a fun deck. These colorless shell decks are usually super powerful, super fast, and just super fun to pilot. When we played the original version, this version that you are seeing right now, we went 2-1, and I feel like we actually probably should have went 1-2, but our opponent just, even though we were about like 9 or 10 minutes into a game, our opponent conceded. I feel like a little prematurely. So I feel like maybe we were going to be 1-2, but I mean, a win's a win. So we were 2-1, And then we managed in our games to go 3-1, only losing to pesky goblins. But yeah, we were just one draw, I felt like, away from actually going crazy and beating them. Our Mind Stone was just one card lower than it needed to be. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun. Now, as you can see between the two different decks, we really condensed the deck. And that's what we do in some of these deck videos, is we kind of look for the cards that are a little bit out of place. You know, we try just different approaches. But I feel like the main thing that makes this deck a little bit better is just the fact that we were able to fix the mana. So Scrylands are super important, especially a Scryland on turn 1, helping us to hit one of our Mind Stones or our Guardian Idols. The Radiant Fountains are really important because gaining life against these aggro decks is really, really, really good. And then again, playing Spire of Industries and Ifnir Deadlands is a little bit more beneficial instead of playing Swamps, because the Forsaken Monuments will these tap for colorless without hurting us. So this still fuels the Forsaken Monument if we need those. And then again, we only really need to ever tap for 1 black mana at a time. So it's not really punishing to have multiples of these in play. So, but yeah, and then, you know, we added a couple cards. You know, we added the Thran Temporal Gateway. That was sweet. I'm glad we did that. This card is so good. You know, we took out one Extinction event. We added a Paradox Engine. We added another Ugin, the Ineffable, because again, Ugin is so important in this deck. It just reduces the cost of so many cards. It is just so good. In this deck, this Ugin is better than big Ugin. So it may even be worth it to go up to 3 6-mana Ugins and down to 2 8-mana Ugins. So yeah, so that is something to consider. And it was cool. We got to see Vito in play. We got to gain 4 life with our Maze Mind Tome and deal 4 damage to them. We got to cast spells with the Forsaken Monument in play and deal 2 damage. We actually would have killed them once we got our card from the Karn, but they conceded at 1 life. But yeah, we got to do a lot of cool things, and I'm super happy that we got to keep this deck really to as close to the original as possible, just, you know, changing a few numbers. Because again, it's hard to, with this deck, you still want it to be fast. You want to power out, but you just have this secondary win condition in the form of Vito. And yeah, we don't need Vito to win in this deck, but cards like this make the deck fun. Cards like this just make Magic, you know, what the game is, and it makes it exciting because you just get so excited because you're like, yes, the card that I've been looking for is in play. And then the same with Thran Temporal Gateway. You guys saw how I was reacting every time we drew Thran Temporal Gateway. It's just one of those cards where you know, in this deck, it literally has so many payoffs. There's like 40 payoffs in this deck for this card. So why not throw one of in here? And I mean, it definitely won us that first game. So yeah, why not? You know, just, you know, sometimes think outside the box. Don't think, you know, in just such a linear way to where, you know, I gotta win. While yes, winning is fun, but sometimes winning in those crazy, you know, counterintuitive, thought out ways is just as fun, or even it's more fun than just, you know, sitting there and just, you know, throwing down goblins every turn and just getting in there. So yeah. So that's this deck. HearSay, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. I will probably keep this in my build and just play this every once in a while again, because I do like the colorless shell. I've always been playing it, but you know what? Why not have Vito in this deck? There's really no reason not to. It's a cool card and people just don't expect it. Yeah. And being able to play Ifnir Deadlands on turn 1, people think you're playing a weird black deck, and then you start throwing down artifacts, and then yeah, then it just kind of could change their early game, which could make you win later on. So that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you want to be considered for a Decktember video, please head over to the Discord channel, join the Discord, head over to the Decktember channel, check out the pin post, see the format that you can put your request in, and add it. And maybe we'll be seeing your deck featured during Decktember. Other than that, everyone, please stay safe. Thanks again, HearSay, for submitting this to us. Yeah, so stay safe, and we will see everybody next time. Remember, this channel would not exist without such amazing viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for interacting with the channel and helping grow the community. And a very big special thank you to the Patreons listed here for supporting the channel.